Money Moves with Myth 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a motherfucking movie. So today we got another one of those videos, from another clown, you know, um, of a modern American black man saying, do not apply for any more jobs. I had to give my personal perspective on this video because a lot of you dudes been like my New York guys would say up north. They would say you guys been bugging. So here we is, with yet another video, to prove all the non-believers wrong. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and let's hop straight into the content.
I know what you're going through. I go through it too. Your work environment is just too toxic. You hate that your work environment is too toxic. You know how they say it ain't the job, it's the people. And that's true because it's like that everywhere you go. And I don't think it's going to be changing no time soon. It's that you want to go to work and then you just want to work in peace, but you just would never be in peace. Because you know why? Because the people at your job, they got to take care of their family. And when something go wrong at the job, they want to throw you under the bus.
Hey guys, first and foremost, we gonna react. We gonna get in the straight real because a lot of these guys are gonna be uncles. They're gonna be older men in black communities and in communities, period. And the message that they're giving is so backwards, is wrong, it's incomplete. Just like what he just said. He just said, did you hear what he just said? He said that it's the people on the job he can't get peace on no job. You can't get no peace. And to all my fellow human beings, we all know that true happiness and true peace comes from within. So if I'm working at a warehouse and there's 30 people, you know, I'm not, a lot of people get all emotional and stuff, and they let people who they work with get under their skin. And I'm not like that. You know, mature people are not like that. You know, a mature person will handle the job situation by um focusing on his hours, focusing on your paycheck that's coming at the end of the week. Either you getting paid daily, you getting paid weekly or bi-weekly. So that's my only focus when I'm on a job. You know, I done heard some of everything on jobs, so I'm not green to this. I done heard racial slurs. I done heard people talk about drugs. I done heard people, who want to play like they're the powerful employee on the job. But the thing about it is, you have to play into people's emotions. You have to play into people's not let that get to you. But let's keep it moving.
That's how I go because they don't think about humanity. They don't think about their morals. All they care about is just getting over on you, getting over on the next person so they can get what they want. And then even your bosses are like that. It's like they don't care about humanity. They don't care about.
Like I said, I'm not on my job worrying about humanity. You know, you know. I don't know who this dude homeboys is, but y'all ain't checking this fool. You know, and 9 times out of 10, this is gonna be a guy that's gonna be out there, and there's gonna be young guys out there who need advice. And you got this dude right here talking about don't apply for no jobs. I understand what you're going through, man. I understand what you're going through, brother. And at the same time, he be leading you down the dark path that he had for himself. Just because one person have bad issues with people, you know, that's the main thing that I hear from a lot of modern American black men, you know, is and black people in general is that they're not people. And to work a job, you have to be a people's person, meaning that if you're from the hood and you're a so-called real ninja, you're gonna have people who do not believe in that, and that's absolutely fine. And and they will snitch and they would do this, they would do that, but a lot of guys just can't get it, bro. Working a job is not as bad as these dudes be saying it is, and they're leading people down a dark hole of being poor or ended up incarcerated because they don't want to go to work. Like, I done seen some real good jobs, y'all. Some real good jobs for all my people out there who ain't dumb, who are not sensitive and stuff. Because a lot of you black man, it seems like y'all more sensitive than the black women. You don't want to go to work. Don't apply for no more jobs because the bosses, they don't care about humanity. Man, who's thinking about humanity? I'm thinking about my bills. I'm thinking about something that I really want, like a Lamborghini. I'm thinking about something like that, like a home, a house, some concrete driveway and all that. But let's keep it moving. Like, really listen to this guy. Let's keep it moving, y'all.
Just doing your job. They just trying to get ahead. But in reality, it's not gonna work because
We
that
got
ain't
a
how life
new
is.
subscription to the channel. Alonzo Robinson, welcome to the channel, my brother. And we got another subscriber to the channel. And we got another subscriber to the channel. What's up? What's up? What's up? We got three repeats, 3 subscribers, 3 new people to the clan. And this clan, we're thinking logically. We're not going around thinking based off of emotions and about because if you go around thinking like that, you're not going to be able to fit in nowhere. You can't work on a crib because we're going to talk about you. If you like, I work construction and traffic, and if there was an emotional dude, I'm like, bro, like I'm going home talking to my wife about you, like this dude right here, like he ain't gonna last, bro. But let's keep it moving.
Yes. People can sense when you just not being genuine. Even they bosses can sense that, and you just trying to get ahead. It's not gonna work. So it's like you want to work in peace, but they hate that you want to work in peace. They hate that you don't engage with them, and that's why a lot of people hate their jobs.
And there we go. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, people are going to be people no matter what, guys. Remember that. If you're on a job and you don't want to talk to nobody, then the other person can't read your mind. Because when I go on a job, I love talking to people. I love shooting the shit. Especially talking to, because I work around a bunch of dudes. So men talk, but this dude ain't even trying to talk about nothing. He just want to be left alone because he feels some type of way. He's extra sensitive. But let's keep it moving.
Because I know we all working our jobs and we trying to live from paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes you got a lot to pay for. Sometimes you got to pay for bills. Sometimes you got to pay for everything. And it all just comes in your life all at once. I am not lying. Tell me I'm lying. Let me know you worked at a place where it's just too toxic. Maybe you worked there more than one place. Maybe everywhere you go is just like it's toxic because you're dealing with people. You're dealing with a toxic work environment. Ain't nobody happy. Everybody working because they have to. So that's all they do with their life is work. So they want to come to the job and hate on each other. And then they want to try to get you fired. And then they get a kick out of that.
No, usually, like, if I'm working and you're making it more difficult on me, and like I'm trying to do my job, you know what I'm saying? And then you get a new guy. Say for instance, guys, we work for a moving company, you know, which I'm it's an experienced mover as well. Um, you know, we're moving furniture and stuff like that, and you got to work as a team moving furniture, bro. If you stealing, you know, I mean, I don't really care what you do. That's your business, you know what I'm saying? But if you on a job and I'm lifting all this heavy stuff and you over there, you know, chilling all the time, want to take breaks, complaining and stuff, I don't want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get this bread. You know, I'm trying to get this bread. I'm not worried about the next person on the job. You know, I might meet some people on the job and we might be cool and stuff like that, you know. But at the same time, everybody has their own personal vendettas that they're going to work for. You know, it was a point in my time where every time I got my check, I went to the casino and I would lose. That was my personal vendetta. You know what I'm saying? Some people are working to get $150,000 add on to their house. You know, we're all adults here. You know, all adults. But when it comes to the sad thing that I see about a lot of us in the black community, a modern American black man, is that um we're not hard, meaning like we're too sensitive. You know, it's like, and I'm starting to think like, where's this stemming from? Like, why wouldn't you want to go and get some money? Why wouldn't you want to go and get some money? Everything revolves around money. The women, the beautiful the woman is, the more likely, if you're making some money, it adds up. You know, usually the guys with the money and they're men and they're doing their thing, they end up with the baddest chicks. And this dude right here is the dude you gotta watch, who'll be not at work. When he do go to work, he high, he complaining, trying to talk to everybody on the job about some BS that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I'm like, have you ever talked to somebody who had bad conversations before? You be like, what the? This dude just went left field. You know, I remember I asked this one dude, I was like, bro, you straight? And he said, no, I'm bi. I was like, that's too much information, homie. But let's keep it moving.
Then even your boss, when you got something going on in your life, they try to fire you. So it's like, how can you dedicate yourself to a toxic work environment? It's like, can't nobody be happy no more. And I know why they don't want to be happy, because they ain't got nothing to look forward to. They working every day.
They look at, hey, do you hear what this dude just said? He said they ain't got nothing to look forward to. They got something more than this dude to look forward to. They got a check coming. They done put in them hours. They didn't clock out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them did a little overtime. Man, the check be fat. You know, I think a lot of these dudes never made a big check, like from working a job. Like, hey, you ever just got that check and the check said, you know, from working like 40 hours and the check say like 2,500, you know, something like that. Yeah, but let's keep it moving though, y'all.
That's miserable. Then you working what, 5 days out the week? Some people work 7 days out the week. So jobs need to just go back to where you can only work like 2 days out the week, and I think we'll be straight. All this 5 days and 7 days out the week, that's just too much for a brother or a sister or anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to change. Hopefully one day it goes into the world where you
Guys, this dude just said 5 to 7 days of a work week is not good for nobody. Hey, I'm at the point that if I stay home long enough, like without waking up early in the morning, like putting on my work vest, hopping in my car, going to get a cup of coffee, you know, riding around, in the car and doing something, I would fucking go crazy. What is these dudes talking about? Like, is this the new generation of men that want to be house husbands? You know how you got housewives and stuff. I ain't trying to work. You think I'm about to go break a nail? I ain't trying to do nothing. And the sad part about it is that a lot of us, we don't even know how to manipulate our own atmosphere at a job. Meaning that you don't have to be disrespectful to get people to respect you. A lot of you guys go on a job and, you know, first time somebody say something to you, you just ready to go off just because you don't feel good with yourself. I've been there. I've been poor. I've been homeless. A lot of you guys already know me. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like when I was young and mature, I, I would be like I didn't want nobody to tell me anything. And a lot of you gotta break out of that. You know. You gotta break out of that because there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be over you. And a lot of black men, the soft ones, they don't want a bigger older guy, a man to be or anybody to be over them, and that makes me look bad because now I gotta be extra with peace with myself because a guy like you that came on the job and made it bad for the rest of us. So let's keep it moving.
See how times is changing, everything is digital. Hopefully every job becomes digital, you know? And I know that's just me hypothetically talking. It may not never happen like that, but that'd be dope though. If the jobs was just like digital, because you see how AI is just changing everything. What if the jobs was like that? So you want to do your job, but your workers don't want you to do your job the right way because they hate that you do your job the way you do it. And they wish they could do it just like
And why wouldn't somebody at your company want you not to do your job the right way? That don't make no sense. That's why a lot of us couldn't have made it to the NFL, couldn't have made it to the NBA or Major League Basketball because you got to work as a team. Like, I'm trying to teach you everything that I know to so you can help us, so you can make the workload lighter, hopefully. But knowing him, God, now we gonna be doing our job plus his job. Can you imagine that? You doing your job and then you depending on the other workers at the job, and then 3 days out of the week he comes in and I'm like, oh man, we behind. We are behind on schedule. You know, this is absolutely insane. And something needs to be said to, about the mindsets of a lot of American people about working jobs. Guys, nobody, jobs are here and it's meant for you to just about barely make it, just to get by a little bit. You might be able to pay a couple bills off one job, you know, but most jobs are not here to make you rich. A lot of guys be thinking, oh, my job is supposed to make me rich overnight. I got them checks coming. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm sitting outside smoking cigarettes, hitting the blunt, thinking that this job I'm rich. I ain't got to do nothing. Nah, you a lie. You got to come on the job and you got people competing for that money that you're hating. There's somebody else who would lovely take your spot, bro. We don't care if you don't show up. Just if you show up, just be expecting to work with us, bro. That's it. Don't be talking crazy on the job. But let's keep it moving.
you. So in reality, they can't do it like you. So they gonna just everything you do, they just gonna hate on you. Then they gonna low key tell their supervisor about you. They gonna always say what you ain't doing instead of what you
Ooh,
doing. And
it's
then it's like if you don't engage with nobody at the job, so if you don't tell them your problems, then they gonna tell on you too. So it's like you can't
you don't have to tell. This is what I'm saying. I've been working the past career for like 5 years, and nobody knows that I have a YouTube channel. You know, it's a lot of things people don't know about me. They know they see me. I smoke cigarettes. You know, I drink coffee, but I'm there every day. You know, and like you don't necessarily have to tell people the whole truth. It's just be conversation. You know, you can get the vibe off the person you're working with, what you could tell them and what you can't tell them. Like if I'm working with a hard working hood dude, I'm be like, oh yeah, this hood dude kind of cool. So I probably could tell him a little bit more than I could tell Dave, my white manager back there. You see, these dudes don't know how to play the game, bro, and they out here giving out bad information. You hear me? Holla if you hear me, man. But let's keep it moving.
Can't trust nobody at the job because they're really not your friends because it's a toxic work environment. Then everybody want to fight each other. Everybody want to do this and that instead of doing their job because that's just when you deal with people.
Hey guys, and sometimes like I can say that I can understand what he's saying to a point. You know, sometimes we might be in cities like I'm from Memphis, you know, and it'll be a bunch of stuff going on in Memphis. A bunch of people working jobs in Memphis who are gangsters with AKs and all type of stuff. You know, and sometimes you have to. He said ain't no good job. Sometimes you have to relocate, like go to a different state and go check it out. If you ain't got no kids, you ain't got no ties, just leave and go try and find something different if that is the case. You know, so you won't end up in trouble or on the news because somebody did something to you. But let's keep it moving.
I know it's crazy because some of y'all probably don't want to deal with people. Some of y'all sick of dealing with people. I understand. More power to you. I ain't gonna judge you. But at the end of the day, that's why your work environment is so toxic because you're dealing with people. People have feelings. Everybody wants stuff to go this way, but it shouldn't go this way. It should go this way. Everybody got an opinion about something.
Hey guys, and then when you feel it, the way he's feeling, the way he's talking about everybody got their opinions and stuff, and everybody's talking. You know what I do when they start doing that? I just get quiet. I'm not trying to overdo nothing. You know, just be quiet. Let them talk. Act like you don't know nothing, bro. Play the game. Like if he want to be the shift commando supervisor, then let him be that. Hey, that's his thing. That's his world. You know, but let's keep it moving, y'all.
When you tell somebody how something's supposed to go, they just want to get the last word. They always got to have a rebuttal for something. That's how I go. And in reality, it's just draining. Then you got to deal with the stuff.
Hey guys, you know what really helped me get over like the last word thing about people having the last word is my wife. You know, because I had to by me getting married like 6 years ago, and I got kids and stuff, and I'm married to a woman. Like a lot of times, women want to get the last word, and we used to argue all the time. I'm trying to get the last word, she's trying to get the last word, and that really helped me in the work. That helped me in life for real. Like I could care less if if you're the realest OG and you done told the females you're the realest OG or whatever, because 9 times out of 10, them females or your supervisor is gonna see who's the realest OG. So let's keep it moving. You ain't gotta be having the last word all the time. That's what's wrong with us. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of issues that I had to break and silent. I had to be silent. I had to let people think they're putting me in my place. Yes, sir. You're right. Okay. I had to learn how to walk away. And there's nothing that that makes you not a man from walking away from an argument, from just letting people talk. Let them talk, bro. And this is extra sensitive, and this is somebody baby daddy, man. Somebody come get your. Hey, he bugging just like my New York. He bugging, B. My New York guys, you know what I'm talking about. He bugging. Somebody come get they baby daddy. You know, I feel bad if this dude and his mentality right now then planted a seed out here because he tripping. So let's keep it moving.
At home, you gotta deal with what's going on in your house, the bad kids or whatever. Then your girlfriend tripping or whoever tripping. Then it's just like you can't catch a break because you in a toxic.
That's what I'm saying. Women are going to trip. And that's a whole nother video. Like, for, like it happens. Like, they want the last word and they're going to say things because they think they know you and and they can get under your skin. You got to let that shit, you got to be hard, bro. You have to be harder than a woman. Women are soft. You got to be harder than other people in the work environment as well. Especially as a black man, man, you get worrying about what people think. And I'm just glad that they gonna have my check ready. They gonna have my check ready on Friday when they say they gonna have it. Or at the end of the day, when I get my check, I'm just gonna add it up. You hear me? We gonna add it up, y'all. Let's keep it moving.
Environment in general. But then adding on to it, the work environment, you going crazy. So that's why you hate your job and you just hate your situation you living in because it's based around your job. And then at the end of the day, your work environment
My life is based around my job. How about that?
ain't gotta be toxic. Like this somewhere you at majority of your time and you want that to be in peace. And then when you come home, your house ain't even in peace. So it's like you feel like you trapped. And then once you feel like you got a bill that you pay, here come another bill. Or your
Hey, we adults and we know that bills are gonna be there. But if you really ask a lot of these dudes who talk about not working a job, they don't want to work a job, and ask them to pull some money out their pocket. Like, how much money you got on you, bro? Like, you got good credit, bro, or some shit like that. And goddamn, they ain't gonna be able to pull out nothing like this. You see, I can pull out shit like this because I'm a working man. Now watch this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all can see that, but I could pull out 50s. I could pull out a couple. I ain't rich or nothing, but working and saving and managing money and credit, and I can go hop in my car, and stuff like that. I go get me a McDouble if I want it, or whatever. I'm good. But let's keep it moving.
car breaking down. Just a whole toxic environment in general. And then you live from paycheck to paycheck. So that's why everybody is mad. This is the reason why people are quitting their jobs and they just want to start all over because it makes your levels rise. It messes up your health, your mental health, because at the end of the day, you can't deal with all that. There's so much a person can take. You see what all those people be doing when they be at those jobs? They just be fighting each other and beef with this person, beef with that person because they keep messing with them every day. Now, some people you just can't mess with them every day. Then that just be building up. And then now all of a sudden, they get into it and they fighting because they tired of this toxic work.
And then I'm gonna be the main person who's standing back, not getting involved in they argument. But you see, they fighting and stuff because something happened emotionally. That's why people fight. Something happened emotionally, and I just seen it on jobs where I'm at, and I keep myself out of those types of situations, and like I keep myself out of fights. If somebody gets into a fight, I'm not gonna break you up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, I might, depending on the situation, just to look a little better at the job because y'all want to act stupid. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this crazy, bro. But let's keep it moving.
Work environment, and you shouldn't fight on your job. Please do not fight on your job because that's your work environment. Okay? I know it's toxic, but you can't hurt nobody on a job. I know you want to, but you can't. Okay? Just be cordial and just get through your day. When you feel like you want to hurt somebody, that's not the answer. Okay? Just watch this video.
Okay, so this dude bipolar, he just switched it up on me. He went for talking about not caring about a job, not applying for a job, and all this to positive, talking positive about the job. This dude, people schizo got mental issues, man. Like, they ain't got the mental hospitals like they used to have when they'll lock you up in there and stuff, try to help you, get you right. But now they don't really, they send all the mental people to prison. So, but let's keep it moving.
Yo, calm yourself down. I've been there. The work environment is toxic, but you can't change nothing about that. Okay? I don't want you to be violent. I want you to remain peaceful and stay in your character because that's all you can do. And I want y'all to stay strong.
Guys, I'm real good at reading people, and 9 times out of 10, like if this dude was to walk on any job I was on, or if we got time before the job and he's talking to me, I'm gonna keep the conversation to a bare minimum, and I would not hang out with this dude besides on the job. Period. Besides on the job, you know. But that's just me. A lot of you dudes probably like, yeah, man, this dude sound cool, bro. You want to go get some beers and go to the bar? We can go hang out after work and stuff, man. Y'all fools, man. I'm trying to go hang out with no dude, bro. But let's keep it moving.
But I know why y'all sad because you just can't get ahead when you working at your job. And that's understandable.
You can't get ahead. Guys, I'm a prime example of getting ahead from working a job. I'm a prime example of getting ahead from working a job. I had a 450 credit score, and I started working for a temp service, and I got a little thing. I built my credit on up to 720. Got that nice truck that I got outside. You know what I'm saying? And other perks, bank accounts, credit cards, and stuff like that. That's not secure, bank issue credit cards and stuff like that. A lot of you guys don't know how to work the system to your advantage, man. Y'all complain. You just want to blame everybody, victims. And I don't know when American black people a lot of the times became professional victims, but this is sad, bro. Oh, it's the white man. He's keeping us back again. You know what I'm saying? We ain't been in slavery at all. We ain't been in slavery not one time. We was freeze. We was freeze. You know what I'm saying? But they, well, if you feel like they're passing laws in your community, go vote. Go vote for the mayor. Go vote for the state legislator. Stop complaining. Because the only thing I'm seeing from the black community is a bunch of guys getting ready to go to either the funeral home or prison. There was no white dude with those 10 black guys who escaped from jail. Keep that. But let's keep it moving.
Because everybody been through it before. Then you got those people who just hang around the supervisors all day. They just want to tell about everything they see.
I ain't trying to hang around nobody, but if my job requires somebody to be around me, that's my job. It is what it is. I know how to deal with that. We got John Houghton in the building from Lawton, Oklahoma. Lawton, Oklahoma. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Then it's like you got those people, it's like you think they're your friends, but they really not your friends. So you can't tell them your business because they're gonna go tell it to the supervisor.
Who got business that bad that if you tell somebody, they're gonna go to the supervisor? Like, bro, like, do you not know that you need to know what to say, when to say it, who to say it to? Or is you just the type of dude who just go to somebody and they can put on a role like they're a hood dude or a hood supervisor, you just gonna say whatever? Thank you, John. John said he loving the show, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really the reason why I keep going, you know. Um, but let's keep it moving, y'all.
Then it's like they want you to be perfect, so don't let them don't like you. If they don't like you, they're gonna always keep something going when it comes to you with your name. The whole building gonna know you because everybody don't like you. Your supervisors don't like you because you just come to work, do your job, and you go home. They don't like that.
They do like that. That's what most supervisors would want you to do is do your job and just go home, Wayne. You know, go home, Rick. Go home, dude. Just leave. Like, do your job and leave. Like, a lot of you guys don't even get started doing the job, or it'd be an issue in between doing the job, where it's the argument, a fight, or some other BS that shouldn't be going on at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, working a job is not bad at all. You know, um, some jobs are better than others. You just gotta pick your niche. That's it. That's exactly what I feel. You gotta pick your niche and stick with it, or pick 3 niches and stick with those. Or you can have 5 decent job markets that you're rocking with, and you're sticking with those. You ain't gotta go work for McDonald's if you don't want to, brother. You know, ain't nobody forcing you. Talking about slavery. But let's keep it moving.
So that's why these environments are toxic because people don't learn how to just get along. Everybody want to see something their way. The boss want to see something this way. Okay, that's cool that you're the boss, but in reality, you could be wrong too because you're the boss.
Hey guys, but the thing I want to say is, like, I'd have been in this situation. This is just for personal advice, where you get on the job site and everybody wants to be managers and stuff like that. The person who's the biggest boss on that site, the person that you know is a superintendent, your manager, or somebody, the highest person on that job, you listen to what he says. You don't worry about what nobody else say. If they do say something, superintendent told me to do it this way. You know, I'm not gonna stop doing what the highest boss told me to do. You know, he big man over here. You know, he the foreman. I'm gonna do exactly what he tell me. You know, and if it's different, he gonna come tell me that, hey, okay, you know, or we'll figure it out. I'm not gonna get in an argument about it, but let's keep it moving.
That don't mean you right.
We got Dwight Dorsey. He said they are paying $20 to cook hamburgers in Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying, guys? And the thing about it is that $20 might somebody might is complaining about that $20 right now. But there's another person who can take that $20 an hour in Los Angeles and work overtime with it and turn that $20 to something a big net worth. You know, you see, a lot of you guys don't know how to. You know, most of us, we gonna have to work. Where else we gonna get money from? We're American citizens. We have to report our incomes. You know, most of the time, you know, you might slip on a couple thousand or some shit, but most of your money that you get, you're gonna have to report it. Dwight Dorsey said that in Los Angeles, they're paying $30 to be a host for the World Cup. You see what I'm saying? Making $30 an hour on the job. Then you're hosting the World Cup. You can meet somebody there who can take your career to another level. You never know when you meet. If you got a bad attitude and you're not a people person, that's why a lot of people don't come up in this lifestyle. You know, they don't come up because they don't want to talk to nobody anyway. So when somebody with good information comes, there's an employee of a bigger job that pays um way more money, you ain't gonna never catch them because you ain't listening. But let's keep it moving.
All the time because you my boss. Sometimes a boss can learn from a worker. You see what I'm saying? But they be so high and almighty or in they feelings that they don't want to take orders from somebody that they over. Or if somebody that they under tell them the better way to do it, they don't want to listen to that.
See, that's exactly what I knew a lot of dudes, a lot of black men do this. A lot of us, we do. I did it. We want to tell the boss a better way to do his job. Sometimes, like, if you're doing it a better way and the boss sees it and it's working and he don't say nothing about it, that's cool. But 9 times out of 10, the guy who's supervising the job, you want to do it the way he's telling you to do it. Let's keep it moving.
Because they toxic. They toxic bosses. Okay? Because if I was a boss and it wasn't going right, I want to listen to the workers. How do y'all feel? How y'all think it should go right? But they don't care about that. That's what makes the work environment toxic. And it's like we've been through it all. So in reality, that's why people just trying to get out the job world. They just not applying for jobs no more. Because they don't want to be lied to no more. They don't want to keep dealing with the same toxic problems. They dealt with the same toxic problems at that location. Now they got to go to another location and deal with the other toxic problems, the same problems they was having at the previous location. So it's just
We got Tax Slave in the building. He said Eminem speaks clear English. Sort of thanks for the effort, Eminem. Um, I don't know if he's well. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Well, if like what he just said, guys, if it's coming to a point where every job you go to, you're having issues the way this dude's talking about, then 9 times out of 10, then you gotta look at yourself in the mirror, bro. Like, if everybody's having the same issues with you and you can't deal with people, man, who gonna want to work with you? You know, it's crazy. We got Dwight Dorsey. I came to LA 45 years ago. I got hired 2 days after being here and got promoted in 2 weeks because I volunteered to clean the bathrooms. You see what I'm saying? There's always somebody out here willing to do what other people will not do. I'll clean the bathroom, especially if I need some money, you know. And that's how we got to be. Sometimes you might have to relocate if you're having bad experiences. Sometimes you might need to look in the mirror and be like, okay, why am I getting fired from all these jobs? What's the issue? Um, Dwight Dorsey said you have to show some leadership and be able to humble yourself. And that's exactly how supervisors and a lot of companies can see that. And that's why a lot of guys get the supervisor positions and stuff like that, because they didn't see you maneuver and know that you can, mentally handle situations and stuff. But this dude showing, and other people like him be showing that they can't mentally handle anything. Somebody call him the wrong word, he gonna put the company in jeopardy. He gonna go and fight the old guy because the old guy probably got Alzheimer's and call him the N word. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. But let's keep it moving.
crazy. It's a crazy game out here. So in reality, they won't change. But it's like, how can they get changed and they just keep applying for job after job? Some people may apply at 1,000 jobs, and it's the same thing everywhere you go. A toxic work environment.
This dude he was out of his mind. 1,000 jobs, man. If you apply for 1,000 jobs, man, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something. Good jobs. It's got to be a lot of good jobs in there. It has to be the person applying for the jobs the reason why you're having these issues.
Because you're dealing with people. People don't know how to be cool. People don't know how to do nothing. People always getting caught up in their emotions. And we tired of that. That's why a lot of us are quitting the workforce, quitting the work environment. We want to be self-made entrepreneurs. Now, this video is for my self-made entrepreneurs. If you happy at your job, this don't apply to you.
And there you go. This is the delusion that us in the black community we have a lot, where we say we self-made entrepreneurs and stuff like that, and it just Nobody cares if you had to work a job and clean toilets like my boy's talking about, you know, and you're highly successful now. Nobody really cares what you did in your past, bro. But a lot of times these dudes they don't even be making $300 a week. You're not even making $500 a week or a day being an entrepreneur with $500 a day. $300 a day is good. $500 a day is great. But you're not even making that a week. And you can usually look at people and tell, you know, but I'm at the point where I don't know, like I try to keep myself not looking like I have anything, just because, I'm not flashy like I used to be. But let's keep it moving.
But if you having mixed emotions about working and you feeling like you want to get up out of there, this video applies to you. Nah, you can always bury yourself and find another job because you never get comfortable.
Hey, we got Jay in the building, Jay from Memphis, Tennessee. He said that's not life how life works. Um, to be a entrepreneur, you have to get started as an employee first, then work your way up. And these are facts. You know, um, a lot of times we need to work a job to get that good customer service skill, to get that ability to, if you can't even manage the money off your job, bro, like you can keep on telling me you're an entrepreneur or whatever, because I'm like, bro, you the same dude who can't, like, which nobody should know your income, but these dudes tell everybody everything just the way it is, you know, and that's sad. But let's keep it moving. Oh, the White Dorsey said, but I have to say, back in the day, corporations were given health insurance, paid 2 weeks of vacation, stock options, and pay you to go to college. And these are facts. A lot of jobs today, you're gonna have to work them, and 9 times out of 10, you gonna have to put your health insurance and your retirement plan in your own hands. And these are not the great jobs. They're not great jobs where you got to do that, but you have to be a manager of your money, no matter if the job is giving you benefits or not. But let's keep it moving.
Or where you working at, because there's always something else that's different out there. But let me know, every time you apply for a job and you thought it was going to be better, how many times have it just got worse? Or everywhere you went, it was the same thing. You got to deal with the same bull crap that don't even matter. They always stressing you about stuff that don't even matter. I could see if it was really a detriment to the company, and the first thing they're going to say is, you don't want to work. It ain't that you don't want to work. What you got them doing don't make any sense. Now they think you know it all, or you a disgruntled employee.
Hey, this one of those dudes that be in prison talking about he didn't do it. You hear me? You could tell, bro. Like I can read people real fast. Like this dude he don't know what he talking about. Like he's this issue. I'm pretty sure on most of these jobs, he is the issue, the reason why he's losing all these jobs.
And you just gotta have your own way. You don't like taking orders. It ain't that you don't like taking orders. It's just crazy. That's all. It's just toxic. Toxic work environment. And people are just fed up with it. But what I was saying earlier, like how technology changing, all the jobs should just be like digital AI now, man. Like,
Oh, he should be a billionaire too, y'all. He should be a billionaire for thinking of that, huh?
or all the jobs that people can get now. You see how they doing like with the DoorDash and stuff like that. You can make your own money. All you gotta do is have a phone. I wish all
There he go talking about DoorDash. I hate DoorDash. I mean DoorDash cool. I'll use it. I'm not gonna say I hate DoorDash. Yeah, I use it sometimes, but I'm not trying to drive for DoorDash. Um, I'm not trying to work any of those remote phone jobs at all. You know, um, I'd rather just go and get it from a regular going to do some construction, some roofing, some concrete, something like that. But let's keep it moving.
Jobs was like that now. You could just make money off your phone. Every job. And everybody be applying, everybody be happy because you don't gotta be there every day to deal with that toxicness. You know what I'm saying? That's what's messing up your mind. This social media, this toxicness, and this whole work environment. And that's why everybody just hate their life. You know what I'm saying? Not hate living their life, hating the life that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? The life that they're caught up in because they doing the same life. They've been doing that for 10 years. So they don't hate their life like, you know, they really hate their life. They just hate what they doing in their life because they thought life was supposed to be more different.
Money Block JB said you have to start from somewhere. For example, you have to work a job. If you have no income, that's common sense. And a lot of guys don't have common sense. I've been there too. And I've been there a long time ago. A lot of guys a lot of times we do not have any common sense, and it takes time. A lot of these dudes have to get locked up or something. Some dudes don't even never get it. And Jay said DoorDash is a little risky. Um and it is. Like DoorDash, I applied for DoorDash, they didn't hire me. Like I just wanted some extra money. That's why I don't rock with it. Um um but Jay said running your mouth on the job can get you fired, and these are facts. Nobody's trying to really. People, we're trying to work and then leave, go home, finish, do what we got to do. The white Dorsey from Cali said, "My girl makes $1,500 a week just being a caregiver. You just need a clean record. That's $6,000 a month before taxes. That's pretty good money. $1,500 a week is real good money. Um, you know, um." And Jay said, "Don't beat yourself up, whoever he is." This dude's headed into a corner store to ask for change. I'm pretty sure of it. Or he's looking for a victim. But let's keep it moving.
Than that, they thought life would be different. They like, this can't be life, but it really is. You're in a toxic work environment and you don't know how to get up out of there. So I want y'all to just start focusing on yourself, learning how to do things on your own. Even if you had a job, just start spending your
He sounded like a little boy to me. And if I told him that to his face, we would have some issues. So, like a comment like that, I'll keep that to myself. But he sounds like very immature, like a teenager. Teenager mindset.
time researching. It's not a bad thing. It's gonna take you some time, but time flies faster than you think. Cause a lot of people, oh, I gotta be this. It's gonna take me this. Now everybody be caught up in a social media lifestyle. Don't nobody want to be a social media influencer all the time. Everybody don't need to be no social media influencer because a lot of people don't talk. But the people who do talk, it's a good career. You just gotta build it up. And people always be like, "Well, it's not guaranteed money. Everything is ups and downs. So you gonna quit, or you gonna stay in the game till you win? You win."
Didn't I say this dude sounds schizophrenic, or he has some type of mental issue? Because he's talking bad about working the job, and then he's talking good about working the job. Like, go work a job. Like, who is you dudes? Like, are you guys sitting here from Satan or who? The white Dorsey said, "I had a friend who spent 50,000 for a master's degree and worked 6 months and quit working as a social worker in Mississippi. Only made 24,000 in Mississippi, but I told him to come to California and make 3 times more." And these, you see, a lot of times people don't listen. Like, it's just like the pay in Mississippi, the cost of living is so low. But if you got a master's degree for social work in Cali, you can make 125, probably 150K a year. He's absolutely right. And Jay said he needs to grow up. Welcome to the real world. Um, they need educated black people in education and social worker. Facts. But let's keep it moving.
Win some, you lose some. You gotta have a different mindset. But that's why a lot of people just giving up on their jobs. And then the people who probably got fired from their job, they probably feel free like a mud. It's gonna start hitting them when they ain't getting no money. So that's how they trap you. And I know how I go. That's why you feel trapped and there's nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Because your job gets you trapped. It ain't
How can a job, guys? This dude is crazy. You know, a mortgage can get you trapped. You know what I'm saying? A mortgage. We done talked about mortgage loans on this channel. You know, so if you're 35 years old and you get a mortgage loan and you got 30 years to pay that and you're 35 years old, that means when you're 60, if you didn't pay more than a minimum payment, then you'll be 65. But what happens if you be 50, you have a stroke, you have a health condition or something like that, and then you can't pay the bills? Then, you know, you're trapped. And that home is not going to be yours. But job, bro, come on. Like they make a job sound like going to prison, and they make prison sound like going to um 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 one of them Miami Beach spring break type stuff. You know, this is crazy. And the white said now he's making 25 an hour for Nissan, but he never did the research about salaries working for the state. Oh, so he's still down there. Let's keep it moving.
nothing else. Because think about it. What else do you do with your life besides work? How you working and you always at work? That's a real term. How you working and you always at work? Let that marinate. See if you get that. That's one of my
But this the main dude who be at work thinking about his chick. Man, man, my chick was looking good last night, man. You know what I'm saying? Like she might be outside talking to them other fools who ain't working the job, man. You know, oh man, man, I'm about to go home, man. I gotta watch this chick, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what he sound like. That's what he look like anyway. Let's keep it moving.
favorite lines. How you putting in work? You always at work. So change your mindset. That's all I be saying. That's why your workplace
change your
is
mindset.
toxic. Because people don't know how to manage business. People don't know how to just stay to themselves.
Guys, if there's people taking people advice like this, you know, this is horrible. You know, there's nothing good that can come from taking bad advice. And a lot of times we be thinking that people have our best and hard, you know, what we trying to do and stuff. But a lot of times these fools don't even be knowing what to do and where to go, period. You know, or how to even maneuver through life. You know, the easy way, you know. Guys, but this is all I got for the video. For everybody who's new to this channel, we got a bunch of new subscribers who just subscribed to the channel, man. Welcome to the gang. You know. And yeah, man. Don't take bad advice. Cause bad advice in the long run will hurt you. But man, I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next video, man. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, guys, it's a motherfucking movie.